September was another fantastic month for the housing market in Orlando. Disney is going to have a couple more 100 rooms added to the availability there. And finally, Orlando ranked number one in one really cool statistic that I'm a huge fan of. Hey everyone, it's Chris Grenier here with America Homes, and please pardon my little bit of a congestion. I'm just getting over a cold that I was fortunate enough to pick up in England. But, I didn't get Ebola, which is, the hysteria right now in America, but, with the two people who have it, that's to the side. So it's another exciting episode of Coffee with Chris. So, as I mentioned in the preview here, they just released a few more details on what's called the Flamingo Crossing, which is this brand new hotel area that's going to be on the west side of Disney. Now, what's really nice about this Flamingo Crossing is the fact that it is not going to technically be a Disney branded location. It's going to be mostly Marriott and different residence inns. That's going to be a much more affordable option for families and people coming to the area for different convention center activities, using the ESPN Wide World of Sports for exciting sporting events that's happening there, since so many more, whether it's baseball, soccer, basketball, football, American football, is moving to the communities here for just absolutely worldwide recognition. It's going to open up the market so much more for people to come here for an affordable option and to take advantage of all of the resources that not just Disney has, but particularly Orlando for convention purposes, which is exactly the market that they want to capture nowadays, because it's going to just increase it tenfold rather than just strictly tourism. The convention and the business segment is what they've been really trying to get. So this is just going to add to the mix. As I mentioned as well, September was a fantastic month in home sales. Prices are up 2.23% in just 1 month. That's just 30 days, prices are up almost 2.25%. That's fantastic when it comes to the value of the homes. So just obviously for a quick example, a $100,000 house that was originally valued at that, in a matter of 30 days, the median price of it has gone up on an average of 2.23%, which is just fantastic news. The market is getting healthier and healthier. But one of the big things on the reports that came out is the foreclosure prices alone have increased 14% over the past year. So that is just huge news when it comes to you investors on the other side of the screen here. Prices on foreclosure homes are rising. I've been saying it now for well over a year, and the reason being is that they are just simply drying up. There's a limited inventory out there. There's not going to be just a consistent supply of foreclosures. Banks are tightening up the rules on why they're releasing foreclosures, how they can release them, and finally, when they can release them. Before, 3 years ago, it would take a bank only a matter of 3 or 4 days to go from a judgment on the house, putting it in foreclosure, to being available on the market. Now it takes anywhere up to 2 years to go through all the paperwork, all the proper channels, and make sure that all the red tape and the proper lines are signed, and that all of the documents are, in where they need to be. So, with limited supply and increased demand, economics 101, as I always like to say. And finally, as I mentioned, Orlando ranked number one as the best food city for your wallet. Foodie city, as they call it, is the rankings and what they look at in terms of variety of restaurants, how many restaurants, the different segments of cuisines that they obviously offer, whether it's, American style, continental, Mexican, everything in between that you could possibly think of, Italian, Indian, et cetera, et cetera. Sushi, which is one of my favorites, of course. But when it's a very, very busy city, not only for tourism, but the locals really get to take advantage of getting the New York City feel that everybody likes, having such a variety at your fingertips and a short walking distance away. It's a great thing to have. It's a great young city. There's a lot going on in terms of development. The Dr. Phillips Performing Arts Center that I mentioned a couple episodes back, as I'm sure you recall from earlier Coffee with Chris segments, is finally open. The grand opening debut is early November. $250 million plus development. It's absolutely gorgeous. I just drove by it yesterday. It's just mind-boggling to see that 3 years ago it was just an open field where they used to actually have weekend concerts there, and now it's just an absolutely top shelf, beautiful performing arts center that's going to bring in a whole new segment along, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, in terms of not just the convention, but this is locals we're talking about, people who live in the city who are excited for more performing arts and theatrics there. So that pretty much sums up everything this week. Again, please email me at any time, chris@americahomesuk.com. Office phone number is 407-730-9330. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend, and I'll speak with you soon.